Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints. It is day 100. I've done a lot of drafting already, but the first interesting bit. Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. Who checked it out when? Anne Babbage, January 4th, 82, Lord Evanson, November 18th, 87, M. Lowry, April 25th of 92. Okay, so on this picture, is there any chance that there's a number of small gates that I can count? I think I've looked at this under a magnifying glass before and didn't see anything in particular, and I think it would be hard to count gates on this drawing. So I don't think that's going to be a thing. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing. But there's definitely something on the last page. So long as I have the magnifying glass and we have the book open, I'll go over the whole thing. The botanical gardens have like a number of gates into like the greenhouse area. That's maybe interesting. I looked it up, and the Ilex mesarvier or whatever is like a real kind of holly bush. And so I don't think that that's anything specific to the game. Featherfall Keep. These towers, there is a gate. I don't see the tree. There were two towers and a tree in like one of the geography maps, but I don't think that's related to this. Trinsdale Lake. Nothing jumps out at me as anything of importance there. Mount Holly, I imagine there's nothing here because there really isn't much detail. Mainway Station Bazaar. This is one that could hold something. Yeah. But I don't think it does. Okay, but on this map, I had read all these things like Angel Tower and Baron's End and 100 Bells. Burrow's End. I was going to say Baron's End doesn't sound right. Mount Porma, Featherfall Keep, Reddington, Mount Holly, Tanner Fork, Botanical Gardens. What I had not read was right there above the house. Even with the magnifying glass, I don't think I can read it. But you see that little squiggle? Huh. Well, I'll be darned. I really thought the magnifying glass was going to let me read this, but it just looks like squiggles. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Well, that was a lot of hullabaloo for nothing then. I was thinking if the bedroom did have a safe, then something in the Reddington guidebook was going to be the answer, and since I'd already looked over it, it was probably going to be, there's the Aries River, something that I had failed to see with the magnifying glass. But now I don't think that's the case. Alright, well, we live and we learn. Well, I managed to get the power sledgehammer today, and a number of days ago, I had pumped the water in the reservoir back down to this level, because there is something I want to check out in the safe house. There is a suspicious-looking wall. So, here's the safe house over here. This wall looks like it could be broken. Rats. But I have the power sledgehammer, power hammer, whatever it's called, and that is not doing anything. Can't like light these on fire to explode them. I did buy the torch from the armory today. Is there anything else I can imagine doing here? I'll walk around. Okay, well, it's good to come back here because I didn't take a screenshot of this. We seek what's in the shade of truth. That could refer to the shadow in one of the Alzara prophecies. I've actually transcribed them all. I feel like they are true prophecies, but the visions that are on the screen are kind of misleading. 6666666. 6 or 0. That just occurred to me as kind of interesting to call out. The mathematics worksheet. All right. Well, I've got screenshots of that. And we've looked at this in detail before. I'm going to look it over again, just in case anything new springs to mind. I still don't know the identity of Pharaoh. But yeah, I guess since we're looking at this, let me go ahead and read off my transcribed Alzara prophecy that relates to this one. Okay, the fifth of 6 prophecies. Faintly in the mist, I see a figure, a statue cradled in a courtyard of sentinel stone. You will find yourself one day wandering these paths, walking in the footsteps of the past, wandering and waiting. There's more, but let's go ahead. Here is the statue of sentinel in stone. Here are the paths, like on the map. I'm walking in the footsteps of the past, wandering this map in my head, thinking about what they did. And then the prophecy continues, searching for a shadow that will never be cast, longing for the day to end, the hours to pass. So a shadow that will never be cast, the shade of the truth. The shade of truth. Can, like, truth be the name of a tree? And I'm fairly certain this points to the archives. Delete it. And that's where we had the newspaper clippings related to the heist. Here's the photograph of Mary and Caleb Manning and Philip White. This appears in a new clue. Here's the photograph of where we break open the wall in the chess room, and it reveals Castle. Castle. And it's like C-A-S-T-L-E, and each one has 2 blanks after it. But I don't think there's anything else for me to do here. So I feel like I've done my due diligence. That wall, I mean, it looks very suspicious, but if it's not broken with the power sledgehammer, I'm not sure what else I would try to use against it. I don't think I ever found this in the basement. Oops. In the corner of the basement. After we solved the puzzle where we had to, like, walk up and down on top of boxes. 100 bells. Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. So this is... Oh, Sandy Heights. That's the address also that Christoph was making deliveries to of, like, the bootleg liquor or whatever. But this is the tea room where Mary was last seen. Antechamber entry controls. North lever, underground, north of reservoir. Yes. West lever, secret garden. 1 backup lever for each antechamber door has been installed in separate locations for redundancy. However, we have been told the locations of this reserve system will not be disclosed to the staff. Alright, I already have found all of them. East lever in the Great Hall. And the south lever in the greenhouse. 1 backup lever for each door. I lied. I know the backup lever for the west and east. East is in the other secret garden. The west... Let's see, the south is in the weight room. And the west... trying to think of where it was. But I know I found it as well. North, however. A backup lever for the north. That would be super convenient if I ever found it. North of reservoir. Antechamber entry controls. Well, yeah, unfortunately... Once again, this doesn't really help me. 100 bells. Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. It's tea. 100 bells. Well, it's good to have new things to think about, but unfortunately they're all things that I wonder if I could have known already or something. And might not need at this point. Alright, well, while I'm walking back out over here, the stones around this bird bath, I mean, the kind of 8, where there's like 2 here and 2 here, and it kind of like, I don't know, seems like something. I drafted all the rooms, but I haven't drafted the outdoor room. And if it's the shelter, and actually I can make it the shelter by using my dice, I ran a number of successful lab experiments, 5 of them as a matter of fact. So I want to measure the radiation levels according to the shelter computer, because Randolph said something about being able to monitor those levels. So I want to redraw using dice until I get the shelter. There it is. And then I want to go check on the radiation levels and see if they're elevated as a result of lab experiments gone right. So on here, radiation monitor. Take a measurement. If it's 12 or higher, emergency protocol will initiate, and all the doors in the house will automatically unlock. And it's 14. Emergency protocol initiated. All doors unlocked. Press enter to return to main menu. Interesting. Okay, so I got 14 after 5 successful experiments. So if it's about 3 per experiment, like 4 or 5 successful experiments might be a way to get all the key doors to go away, I guess. I think is what I'm seeing there. And let's see, by all the doors, it doesn't include, for example, the time lock safe. This painting was also in a new clue next to the other one I just mentioned. Well, just a minute ago. The 3 of you are down there. So this suggests there's 3 people in there. I thought maybe somewhere it said something about 4 people being sheltered. But maybe 3 people were in the shelter. But maybe a 4th person ended up in the safe house, possibly? Well, there's only the 3 of them. I don't remember where I got 4 people in my head. I'm curious. Would that have unlocked the antechamber door? It seems probably not, right? And there isn't a way... I've already gone through all the doors, so there isn't a way for me to test the unlockiness of all that. I don't have a coat check today, but I could end in the break room to ensure I get my key card. I have 334 money. Unspent, but that's fine. I also have 18 gems and 12 keys and 7 dice. Make a wish. Blop. Yeah, I'm running lower and lower on things. I guess while I have all these steps, I don't think there'd be anything to investigate at the orchard or anywhere, but let me look around outside too. This gate has never opened. And where the heck do I think this 3rd microchip is going to be? Because surely something good would come from that here and in the Blackbridge. Her Ladyship's Hotel. And just as a reminder, since we just saw the thing about 100 bells in Sandy Heights, 14227 Sandy Heights. A small garage at the south end of Trinsdale. So it might just be that Sandy Heights, Sandy Shores, Trisdale Lake. Sandy Shores from the Alzara prophecy, possibly? The kitchen is another room that I haven't really looked around to consider where a safe might be hiding. In the oven, in the cabinets. Under here. I can turn the water on. That's interesting. Even without the watering can. Okay, it's good that I'm looking around for things to interact with. I wonder if I left the water on, like, if this would empty it out in terms of, like, pump stuff. I guess I'll leave it running. In case somehow that's interesting. Oh, I was not paying attention. Apparently I used all my steps. Oops. I had a nice run going. I decided I really want to get a wrench to try one of my ideas. So I just ended this run immediately, and I'm going to try to get the tool shed outside, which is one of the only places that I found a wrench. I was looking at Denny's logbook again. In the mailroom, the memo said, "Was it ever proven that he was the one who stole the whatever?" And here it says he made an impulsive decision, took more than just my contract. I found something I knew could give me the chance to make back some of the money. And so I wonder if it's possible that he did not steal the letters. And he stole the bust of Mary, and then someone else is framing him for having stolen the letters, maybe? I don't know. It's just like a random thought. Alright, well, I'm on a run where I got my electromagnet out of the coat closet. And I want to see if by any chance it can do anything with anything here in the bedroom. And it's not looking good. Well, son of a gun, I'm locked out by a key card because I didn't end the previous run in the break room to get one. Nevertheless, did pretty well. I'm going to stuff my electromagnet back in the coat closet. And end things in the break room. I've been recording for over 2 hours. I don't know that I really got much done today. I guess I crossed some things off my list that I wanted to try, and none of them worked out, so that still counts as progress. But I'm going to say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day. I will see you again soon with more blueprints. For now, bye-bye.